Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. If you're new, then welcome to this channel. Well, this is actually part 3 of this phone book application. Well, in the previous part 2 and part 1, we actually built a layout and we actually worked on the logical part of particular layout, which is add, view, remove, update, and search for. Once we are done with this logical part, now it's time to connect this logical part to the API that we have, and we are going to manipulate data using the CSV file data.csv, which is comma separated values, where you'll see a bunch of dummy data here. This is just for demos, so I think it added when I'm running the code again and again. It's fine. So now it's time to add that logical part to the API that we built. If we click on view data, it have to show us the entire data which is there in that database or CSV file. If we click on add, it have to add and it have to show to us. And if we click on update, it have to fill all these entire things by itself, and we are going to update them. And if we click on select this and click on delete, it have to delete the entire stuff. So yeah, let's work on this thing. In order to work on this thing, first we have the logical part in views.py, right? And we are going to use this views.py file in this main.py by importing it from views, import everything. And make sure that these two files must be in the same package, guys. Okay, just remember this to do while you're building something. Whatever you're building, keep everything in one folder so that you'll never, make a mess while doing those kind of stuff. So from views, import everything. And first, in order to view data, if you guys remember in part 1, we actually built this show, right? While working on this frame table, we built it. Now it's time to work, and we are going to use this show. Instead of this thing, we'll just give view here. Okay. And this view is actually from this views.py. Okay, from this views.py we are going to import, and here we are not returning anything. If you don't return anything, it will throw errors on your face. Let me show you what is that error. And if you save it and if you run this one, it will say that, see, there's nothing. None type object is not iterable because we are not returning anything, so it will throw errors on our face. So we'll give return data. Okay, and if you return data, this data will get stored here in this demo list, and for item in demo list, we are going to insert that into that table from CSV file to the frame table in the API. Okay, and save this one and rerun this one. And yeah, here you can see the first thing is empty because here in CSV file the first thing is empty. Let me give it, save this again and rerun this one. So here you are going to see the first entry, right? So if I give my name and I have to add that, so we have to connect that add logic to this add button. So for that, what we have to do is, so in order to add data, first and foremost thing that user will do is he'll give the entire names, right? His name, gender, telephone number, email, and we are going to get these data first. So first what we'll do is we'll create a file called add or insert. So just give df insert and just give name equal to, what is this entry where we are getting name, which is ename, right? ename.get, cgender.get, etelephone.get, and email.get. So we are going to get 4 values from those 4 entries. So just give ename.get gender equal to cgender, which is a combo box dot get, telephone or phone number, you can give whatever name, but give a name that makes sense, telephone dot get. Now email equal to entry email dot get. So we are going to get these values from those entries. And now we'll create a list called data. And give these names over there. Name, gender, telephone, and email. So now we have a list which stores the entire values, and now we are going to store them into that file, this CSV file, and we are going to show that. How are we going to do that? For that, if the entries are empty, right? If name is empty and gender is empty, if any one of the entry is empty, like if you're in this one, if any one of these entry is empty, then at the time we need a warning message showing that please fill all the fields. Okay, so for that there is a logic, and it's pretty simple. If name equal to empty string, or if gender equal to empty string, or if telephone equal to empty string, or if email equal to empty string, then at the time it have to show us a warning. And for that we are going to use this message box module, which is from Python. So for that, just give message box. So for that, just give from Tkinter import message box. And we are going to use a warning, show warning method from this message box. And if any one of them is empty, just give message box dot show warning. We'll give data and please fill in all fields. Yeah, it will, so that user can understand, oh, I have to fill everything in that form so that I can store it in database or store it in that particular table. And if everything is fine, then at the time what we'll do, we'll call this add function, which is there in views.py, and just send this data as parameter, and we'll print a message to the user so that user can know that the data is added. It's actually message box dot show info data. Just give data added successfully. Yeah, it will show this thing. What are we doing? If this function is being called, first it will take the data from that entry, and later it will create a list of those given data. And then if any one of the entry is nothing, like an empty string, if user didn't give any one of the data, then at the time it will just give a warning saying that please fill in all fields. If everything is fine, then at the time it will call this add data, this function, which is from views.py. I hope you guys understood how this add exactly works. I don't have to explain, I'll just tell you how to attach this. If you want to know more about this logical part, just go to part 2 and understand it clearly. When you call this function, it will add the entire data, and at the time we will just let user know that data were added successfully, so at the time user can understand, okay, data added successfully. Let me see. So now user wants to see the data in the table which is there in that API. So for that, we'll call show function again. But before that, we have to delete, or we have to make the entries empty, right? So for that, what you'll do is, we'll keep this inside this. Just give ename dot delete. Just delete that previous entry. Just give 0 and end. And do the same thing for all 4 fields. This is actually cgender, combo box gender, and telephone. Just follow the same order, and entry email. Okay, and once you made them delete, like once you deleted them and user wants to see the data in the table, so at the time just give this show function again. And yeah, in order to make this function work for us, we have to call this function. So just Control C and just give, where's this view button? No, add button, right? So just give command equal to add, command equal to insert. Yeah. Now let's see whether it exactly works or not. If you rerun this one, okay, and if I give master mail 3 to 1, if you click on add, data added successfully, we are getting a message box, and if you click on OK, it will show the entire data that we have. Okay, so in this way this insert exactly works. I hope you guys understood the logic of insert. We are just getting the entries from the user, we are creating a data, we are making it as a list because we need an object, and we are making it as an object, and we are sending this object as a parameter to the function that we created in views.py in part 2. And if any one of the entry is empty, then at the time we have to tell user that please fill all fields. So for that we are using message box. If data added successfully, we are letting the user know that data added successfully, and at the same time we have to delete the previous entries over there so that user can understand that okay, it's again from the beginning, and we have to show this to the user. So for that, just call show function. And yeah, so in this way the insert works, and we added this insert to add. And now we have an update button, we have delete button. So let's work on them. So first just give df. Instead of update, we already have update in views.py if I'm not wrong. Yes, so instead of update we'll give to update. To update. This time we'll try to give this in exception. First, user have to select the value from that particular table. If user didn't select, then at the time we have to show a warning to the user that hey, you have to select a particular field or a particular row in that frame table so that I can delete that thing. Okay, so just give try, which is an exception. And what we'll do is we have to get that data from this global tree, right? So for that, this is actually a tree, which is a global variable. This is the reason I gave global, so that we can access this tree variable everywhere in the code. So in order to get that thing, we'll just give tree data equal to tree.focus. It will get the data which user selects. Okay. And once we got the data, we are going to get that data. So first, tree dictionary, just create a variable called tree dictionary, and tree.item, just get this tree data. Okay, and now let's get those values. So for that, just give tree list equal to entry dictionary of values. We are just trying to grab the entire data which is there in that frame table. Alright, and now we got the values. Split those values, like we need name, gender, telephone and email, right? So just give name equal to string format of tree list of 0. And now once we got name, we'll get gender, and this time gender is actually from list of 1, and we also want email this is 2, actually this is telephone, right? And email is 3. Alright, and now we got the entire data. Insert them into the entries. So for inserting, what we'll do is just give entry name equal to, just give entry name dot insert equal to 0 comma the name which you got from that frame table, and entry or combo gender dot insert and entry telephone dot insert telephone and we also need email, so entry email dot insert email. After giving those numbers, after changing those entries, now the user wants them to get updated. Once the user changes those values, there will be a button which will get appear over there on the interface, which is called confirm button. Once the user updates those values, if he click on that confirms button, it will get added to the database. It will get updated to the database or the CSV file that we have. Okay. So for that we have to create a function called confirm. So just give confirm def confirm. So give new name equal to, we are going to get those from ename.get, new gender equal to cgender.get, new telephone equal to etelephone.get, new email equal to e-email.get. So now we got those values from the entries again. Once the user changed them, we got those entries again. And now it's time to add these details to the frame table. So for that, we'll create again a data list, which will have this new name, new gender, new email, and new telephone, right? New telephone. Follow the order, okay? If not, you'll mess things up. New telephone. Okay. Now we have new name, new gender, new telephone, and new email. We have new data in this data file, okay, in this data list. Now what we'll do is we'll just call this update function, okay? We'll just call this update function. So for that, just give update. Just send this data as parameter. It will get updated. Once it's got updated, we will tell user that data updated successfully. So for that, just give message box dot show info data updated successfully India. And now we have to delete the previous entries again. So copy the same logic and paste it here so that the previous details in the entry will get deleted. Okay. So in the same way, we have to destroy the frame table widgets again so that we can see the updated widgets over there. Okay, so for that, just give for widget in frame table dot w info children. Like, we're just going to delete those children's in that frame table so that we can see the new values over there, new frame table, the updated frame table. So just give widget dot destroy destroying the previous one, and we'll also destroy that confirm button so that we cannot see that confirm again. The confirm button will appear only when you click on that update button. Okay, so just give button confirm dot destroy, but we actually didn't created this button yet. We will do this now. And just once everything got destroyed, we'll show the data again, the new data. It will show and it will give the new data. So here we are going to create that button. So just create that button. So button confirm equal to, we'll copy the same button which is there. But instead of delete, it will be confirm. Okay. And button confirm dot place, give x value as 230 and y value as 110. And we had a try, but we didn't have accept. So just give accept. Give index error because it is not selecting anything. So for that we use index error. So just give message box dot show error select one of them from the table, and yeah, it will show this error. Now in order to make this work for us, we are going to call this function here in update. Just give command equal to update. Let's give 290. And what do we need? And here let's give command equal to confirm. And in update data, we have to send the telephone number as well. If you remember, in the beginning we have to send telephone numbers. So we'll give telephone number again. So just give new telephone again. And now it will go to update and it will get this value, and based on this value it will change all these values. Okay, so the mistake is here, guys. Here actually I gave J, right? Here we have to give J, and we're just updating a row. If you give right row, it will change all these rows Like it will delete all of these rows and it will just write one single row that you just updated. Okay, if you want to avoid this error, just give write rows here. It will solve the major problem. For example, if I add one more data, just give 567. And if you click on add, it will get added. And if you want to update it, just click on this one. Now this is what tree.focus is. Tree.focus means it will get the data which is there. And if you click on this one, what happens is this tree.focus will get the data into update, and it will make it as a dictionary, and it will then access the list of those values in this way. And from this list we got this name, gender, telephone and email. And once you got them, you will insert them in the entry. And once you inserted them, and it's user job to change those values. Once user changes those values, and at the time if user clicks on that confirm button, what the program will do is it will copy all those details from those entries again. It will make it as a data list, and it will send this entire list into this data function, update function. And remember that in update we have to give telephone number in the beginning as well, that it will go and search for that particular thing and update it. Okay, once it get updated, we will get a message saying that data updated successfully, and it will delete the previous entry values, and it also deletes the frame table, and it will delete the confirm button, and it will rerun that show method so that it fetches the new frame table and it will show us the new list. This is how this exactly works. So if you want to update it, click on update, just give the coder and click on confirm, updated successfully, and yeah, boom. So in this way update exactly works. And now we have to work on remove and search, two more. Okay, for that, even to remove we need the data which user chooses, right? Even for that we are going to use tree.focus, and we are going to create an exception so that if user didn't choose, and at the time if user clicks on that button, it have to show that exception that you have to choose all fields. So let's create a method called to remove, because there is already a remove method from views.py, and exception try and accept. Okay, we'll give something for now, and we'll give something here. Okay, so just copy this entire data to get the selected values, and copy it here. Now we have these values, right? So now we are going to get the phone number. So tree dot telephone or phone number, you can give whatever, because we are using telephone mostly, so we'll use this. So string of tree list of 2, and we'll just pass this phone number. So just give remove of tree telephone. Yeah, we'll get this phone number. It will delete that phone number which is from views.py. Here we have remove method, so from here we got this method, and this actually deletes the phone number. And once it deleted, we'll just say message box dot show info success, data has been deleted successfully. Okay. And once we are done, we are going to delete the widgets as well, and we are going to update the table again. So for that, do the same thing. Just copy this thing and paste it there. Yeah, that's all. Now it will show the index error, so copy the same thing and paste it here, because user have to choose anyway in order to delete that thing. So yeah, this is an exception which handles exception. Okay. And now we are going to call this toRemove method when user clicks on delete button. So here give command equal to toRemove, or you can give delete. So we'll give show here. This have to be in read mode. And now if you rerun this one, once you got rerun, and if you click on this one, and if you click on delete, and if you click on OK, the previous data will get deleted. And one more thing guys, whenever you're giving names or whenever you're giving phone numbers, then at the time don't give any gaps, because if you give gaps, it will take even that gap as a string and it will not consider the data that you're giving. Okay, just be careful while giving the data. And if you're mainly giving by this, if you give any gap, it will not delete that particular thing, and it will throw error on your face, that, or it will not even throw any error, it will just do nothing over there. It will not understand what to do. So just don't give any gaps. Okay. I think now you guys understood how to delete data. For that, what we are doing is we'll just get the data. We'll send that data, we'll send the telephone number of that particular row in by this remove method, and it will go to the views.py, and here it will run this entire remove method. And again, once it removes, it will show us the message box saying that successfully deleted, and once it's done, we'll destroy the entire widget of that frame table and will show the updated widget. If the user didn't select any one of them, then at the time it will say to the user that select one of them from the table. So yeah, this is how this remove exactly works. And now it's time to work on the last and the final one, which is the search one. So let's work on it. So for that, we just have to create df search, or just give to search. Because we already have search function in views.py, right? So first, in order to get the search, even for searching, we are going to get the telephone number. So if user gives telephone number, so just give telephone equal to, from where we are going to get that search? From that entry search, okay? eSearch.get, and based on that thing, it will search the data. And just give, there is a method called search from that views.py, and just give that telephone number as parameter. And for example, here we have just one single data, right? Okay, let me add some more data while running. And once you added some more data, for example, give YouTuber, okay, and give male, for example, and just give the name, phone number as something 67, and email, and add it. And for example, you have programmer, and just give female and give 89 just for demo, and just give pro@gmail.com and add one more data. Like now we have a bunch of data. In the future we'll be having 50 to 60 thousands of data, and at the time we need this search thing, right? We can search by giving the telephone number, because that's the unique number everyone uses. So if you give telephone number as, for example, 67, and if you click on the search button, it have to just show that, like, it have to delete all these things from this frame table, and it have to just show that one single thing here. So in order to do that, like this, if you see this one, for example, here the telephone number is 321, right? So if you give 321 here, and if you click on search, it is just showing that one particular record. In the same way we are going to do. So for that, what it is doing, it is deleting the previous tables over there. It is not deleting the data, but it is just deleting the table. The data is safe in this data.csv, okay? So in this way we are going to do. So for that, we have to call a function called delete. Just give delete command. It will delete the previous widgets in tree. So tree.delete. Just give, it will delete everything except the children which is from that search. Okay, and now we'll run this delete command. And now it will update the item. For item in data, just give tree.insert from where we are getting this item, from here. And in order to run this one, just copy this one, and where we have search button, so here just give command equal to search for to search. If you run this one, and if you see a bunch of data here, if you just give 67, and if you click on search, it will just show us the 67, and if you click on view, it have to show us the entire data. Don't worry, we'll work on it. So here we have a view, right? So here we'll just give command equal to show, then it will show us the entire data. For example, 89, search, right, view, it will show us the entire data. And if you click on this one, delete, it will delete. And if you want to update it, programming code, for example, and if you click on confirm, it will update the programming code. So just give here, once everything is done, instead of email, we'll give research. It will empty that entry. If you give 67, search, yeah, it's actually emptying it. That's what I want. Okay. So yeah, this is what a phone book exactly looks like, and I'm super happy to share this project with you guys. And I personally learned a lot, and I got more experience with the Tkinter, and I understood more about message box, how to use a bit more, creative way message box. And I also learned how to work with tables in Tkinter, and I also learned how to organize an API, something like this. It's really cool, interesting. We can even update it a bit more in a creative manner. If you want, you can, update it, and we can even connect this little phone book to our, real-time projects where you can get data from the users. And it's like a mini database, it's like a mini project. In the future we are also going to build something like this, but this time we will work on real-time project. And yeah, this is really an interesting thing that I've ever done on my own. I hope you guys learned something new and interesting today by completing this project. I really appreciate your patience and the way you learned, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. And yeah, I'll be back with one more interesting cool Tkinter or Python project in the future. If you like the video, then hit that huge like button. If you are new to this channel and if you still didn't subscribe, then what are you waiting for? Just go and tap the red button so that you guys never miss an update from us. So yeah, I'll be back with one more interesting video. See you in the next video.